And the final Wheel of Fortune episode, hosted by Pat Sajak, scheduled to air on June 7th, marking the finale of the show.
All right, I think we're live.
Season. Jack, who announced last year that this season would be his
Yep,
last.
I think we're live.
Ryan Seacrest. Sajak will remain as a consultant for the next 3 years. And I'm Laura, USA News.
Omaha Steaks is rewriting the book on burgers with an all-new animated tasting with a
Alright, I think we're live. Good morning, everybody. How is everyone?
steaks. These are true steaks on a bun. Filet mignon, ribeye, New York strip, sirloin, and even brisket burgers. Now is the time to experience the exclusive Burger Perfection Pack for just $79.99. Go to omahasteaks.com and use promo code at checkout to get an extra $20 off your order plus free shipping.
Doing a little different today, doing it this way.
These burgers are crafted for a juicier, more tender experience.
See how this works out.
Water with every single bite. So don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com. Use promo code TREAT at checkout and get $20 off the Burger Perfection Flight to discover your new burger obsession. Warranty required.
A check now on your money. The Dow gaining 307 points at the close Friday.
About 2 minutes.
The market reacting to news of 300,000 new jobs added in March. That's 100,000 more than expected. The Nasdaq up almost 200 points. The S&P 500 up 57.
Someone's gonna have to pull up a chair.
Well,
Not that one.
I gotta get a chair for one of you guys.
Joey.
Congratulations, man. Yeah, congratulations. Joey, thank you for letting us be part of this.
No problem.
What would you like me to say?
Gonna get
John sits
a
up
seat
against
here.
Yeah,
I'm getting yes. Let me get you guys.
You can be the rose in between two thorns.
All right. I'll get in there and I'll check this probably.
Yeah, Don, you I'll stay next to Joe here.
Okay.
Joe, if I see him, am I going to block them?
No, you're not gonna block. I just gotta be sure we're
You just
live.
gotta make sure you hook them up the right mic, Joey.
Yep.
All right.
We're live. Yeah, we're live.
Anybody call you, Joe?
No. Audio is good too.
Let's get this done. Let's get a deal in place.
No, you say the word friends. Is there something in between client and friends?
Bring your story to life with audio.
You come up with something and let me know. Maybe there is. I'm not sure. It's something that's more neutral.
Well, friends seem like something you take home. You know, it takes away the business aspect of it because there is a business aspect to it, right? You know what I'm saying? And the client is like, you're my client, you're my lawyer. That's a little sterile too.
But I hear you, Joe. From the perspective of the Bible, that's where that fits in. It fits much better.
What, friend?
All programs are those of the host and their
It may
guests.
not be a better word. I may not come up with a better word.
You know, come on, think about it. The pressure, you don't have to do it today.
What's happening?
Yes, they do.
Happening in Middleboro and surrounding towns. It's
We're gonna be green light check.
Green.
with your host,
That's just a
Joey
green?
Driscoll.
Yeah, you just did
Oh, I see the dot.
Yeah, you move over a little closer to it.
I'm not going to block anything, right?
No.
Hey, Joey, what's happening?
And good morning and welcome to Middleboro in Review. I am Joey Driscoll. I am joined by Don. Good morning, Don.
Good morning, Joey.
And we have a full house today.
Oh, we have our friends here.
We have a lot of our friends here. Yes, we
Client
have.
friends.
We have Pastor Ortez Vandross. Good morning.
Good morning, Joe. Good
And-
morning, gentlemen.
And we have Chuck Hart. Good
Good
morning,
morning,
Chuck.
everyone. A beautiful morning. Beautiful to be here.
Excellent.
Amongst friends.
And we have a phone call right off the bat. So we're going to say good morning to our caller. Good morning, caller. You're on Middleboro
Good morning, Joe.
in
This
Review.
is Chris Keach. How are you? This is morning, besides the fact that you're celebrating 5 years of Middleboro in Review? Congratulations, that's amazing.
Thank you. I'm doing great. And let me just turn that down there.
Good morning, Chris. How you doing?
Hey, John.
Hey.
One of the things that's amazing, because I've been doing radio a long time, and when you commit to doing not only a show, but a show at a certain time of day and a certain day of the week, boy, that's a big deal, because we get bad weather, snowstorms, freakish accidents, road closures, and you guys have consistently been there. And the other thing is, too, is that you're doing like it kind of developed into a father and son show over the years. So it does have a unique flavor to it, and I think that's very cool.
I got to say one thing about you, Chris. He started in 2017, and I think you had a lot, and everyone else too, but I think you had a lot to do with taking care of him as far as teaching him the business. And, he didn't want to let you down, so he always tried to do a good job, and I think you were the first one who, in my opinion, correct me if I'm wrong, that told him that he was ready for the morning wake-up news, which is your baby, and I really feel that I was honored that you were able to have him do that, and he's got a lot. Yep.
The one thing that Joey has done is, and what I've done is, and if you look at somebody like Ron Lancaster, Tony, we've been doing it a long time, but you've got to get in there and do what Joey has done. Doing Sunday morning programs that get sent to you. If you're listening to this and you're not aware of what Joey or anybody else deals with, these are local programs, and sometimes the links are a little bit short or a little bit long. Joey makes it all work, and in doing that, learns an awful lot about running a radio program.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, he really learned the business from a lot, and you've. Baptism of fire, and you pushed him in that right direction, and I think that's how I've brought him up, and I really like the idea of your approach to it, and I do appreciate it as his father.
Okay, well, that's all. Anyway, guys, keep doing it. The one other thing I'd like to say is, this is a real alternative to a lot of really dry and boring early Sunday morning program. You know what I mean? These shows that are just you run across them on the dial and you say, who is possibly listening? Congratulations on 5 years. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
That's the program director giving you a thumbs up, huh?
Chris Keats, the program director.
It's always good when the program director calls them videos, because usually, there was a time he said, he used to call this Middleboro Matters by Chris called up and said, your Sunday morning show is Middleboro. And I was like, I was laughing at him. He must have knew I was laughing at him.
So we have our weather outside. Today is a cloudy day today. Tomorrow is supposed to be very nice, which is important because tomorrow we'll have a partial eclipse, about 90% eclipse tomorrow. So it should be great weather for that tomorrow. But today, 37 degrees, cloudy skies, a high of 48 today with a low of 34. Tomorrow is, I think, the pick of the week, 65 degrees. A low of 41, mostly sunny skies throughout the day tomorrow. In Taunton, it is 48 degrees, or will be 48 degrees. Right now, currently 37 degrees, cloudy skies. A high of 64 tomorrow with a low of 42 and mostly sunny skies. And a flood warning still seems to be in effect here in Taunton. Because of all the rain that we've gotten, and there's more rain next week to come as well, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, so that might get extended once again, that flood warning. Driscoll, North Dakota, 39 degrees, cloudy skies, a high of 40 with a low of 33 today, with mixed weather conditions, snow, rain, again tomorrow as well, snow, rain, 44 degrees with a low of 32 tomorrow in Driscoll, North Dakota. A high right now. That's Driscoll, North Dakota again. Okay, let me get Driscoll, Texas up. I got Driscoll, North Dakota up twice. I did not want to do that. Driscoll, Texas.
His attention.
There we go. Driscoll, Texas, 73 degrees, mostly sunny skies. Right now, a high of 85 with a low of 71. Tomorrow, 85 degrees, rain with a low of 73. And Tuesday, it's going to be in the 90s, 92 degrees with a low of 68, mostly sunny skies in Driscoll, North Dakota.
Hey, Joey, we're talking in the back room with our guest there, and might as well continue. Might as well try to get something done as far as the show is concerned. You guys were talking about the increase in food, newcomers coming into the pantries.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah, we were talking prior to the show about new arrivals to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and how there's been an increase of demand of food, and as well as there's a higher demand, there's the higher sometimes there's a low in supply as well. And one of the things that we have been seeing at our food pantry is that our numbers have doubled. Prior to the new arrivals, we were averaging about 200 patrons. As we talked about earlier, clients. Okay,
Patrons.
we'll get patriots. We'll get to that a little later.
I like that.
And then
Patrons or patrons?
patrons.
Patrons.
Patrons. All right. I'm a little nasally, so if I didn't pronounce
No,
it correctly,
no.
okay.
No.
I'm a little stuck in my ears. So.
I thought of it first.
And so as a result, we have increased to 400 per month. And so we were just dialoguing prior to the show.
How are you dealing with the resources on that? Are you getting the resources? Is it tough getting them? Or?
We have been getting the resources. We get our food from the Greater Boston Food Bank in Boston, and then our church is partnered with a couple of other agencies in the area. We are sharing, and then we are giving food away. So we're actually helping one another to meet the needs of each food pantry on a weekly basis. Now, the unique thing about us is we're only open twice in 1 month. Everyone else is doing the work 5 days a week, some 7. And so we're just a small equation in the big picture of what we're trying to do in the city of Brockton.
Yeah, check on St. Vincent de Paul. What's your numbers? You said his numbers double.
I don't have them in front of me, so I wouldn't want to be. I can get those and follow up with you. I wouldn't want to be. It would be irresponsible of me because I'm really not sure. But it's our numbers are higher than that because we're dealing with Middleboro, Rochester, Carver, and Lakeville, so our numbers are probably because we're the. Middleboro only has 2 food pantries, and ours is the other one is only. It's a very small. It's not a congregational church. It's a very, very small number of people that they're serving. So the other thing about our friends that are in need, the migrant issue, is a lot of schools too. There's a lot of stick coming into schools. So it's so important to understand how do we help these kids that are coming into schools. The schools are overwhelmed already. The budgets have been cut. Chapter 70 money has been cut big time. So. I worry about them in school. We all do about them in schools and how we can help them to access an education. So it's a big. This is messy. It's really, really messy. I'm glad we're talking about it.
Well, it's important to talk about it because it's like we know the newcomers are here, and at some point, you could be able to feed them, and you don't want to turn anyone away, especially when it comes to food. It's so I hope it's something that's being taken care of. As far as volunteers, as far as people bringing food in, is that encouraged or is that sticky a little bit as far as people
No,
bringing food?
it is encouraged greatly because the more food you have, the more you can distribute to the needs of others.
It has to be the food, like mostly canned goods, stuff like that.
Canned
The
goods,
non-perishables.
Yeah, you can't bring like steaks and stuff like that. But, no, but I'm saying people, when people give, they just like, oh, well, I got this, I got that, I'll bring it all. You know what I mean? And it just, and then you look at half the stuff and say, well, I can take these, but there's nothing we can do with these. You gotta.
We have a pretty rigorous process, and I'm sure you do also, of what we can accept and the standards and guidelines that we have to follow, and the protocols that we have to follow.
Right.
Absolutely. You'll be surprised the number of people who know about food pantries that give liberally.
Right.
Not just during the holiday season, but they give throughout the year.
Right.
So which lightens the load and gives us more food, because even though we're closed
Right.
every other week, the calls don't stop coming,
Right.
the texts and the emails, and so we meet people offline.
So, if you are mostly canned goods, that's more, like boxes of like macaroni and cheese, stuff like that. But mostly canned goods is really something that really can be better, I guess, as far as being practical.
Yeah.
So,
That helps. That helps.
any calls, Joey?
Not yet.
Close eye on that, huh?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Not yet.
He's gonna look like a Christmas tree pretty soon. He's not getting up.
Before we take our first commercial break, because we're taking our first commercial break in just a few minutes, we're going to do our Today in History. We have a lot of Today in Histories and birthdays today, so we're going to get through these here. 1862, April 7th, during the American Civil War, the Union Army of Tennessee and the Army of the Ohio defeat the Confederate Army of Mississippi near Shiloh, Tennessee, one of the major
The
battles.
Union Army of Tennessee?
Yeah, the Union Army of Tennessee.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the Union Army.
Well, Andrew Johnson was a senator who stayed loyal to the Union.
That's right.
That's why he did. So.
Mount Vesuvius erupts on this day in 1906 and devastates Naples. Seems like every time that particular volcano erupts, there's a lot of destruction with that particular volcano. Of course, there's that famous eruption many, 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 many years ago of Mount Vesuvius that destroyed the city.
We had recently Mount St. Helens,
Yeah.
Washington State.
1943, the National Football League makes helmets mandatory, and helmets really didn't get really good until the 1970s. They started off with these basically they were caps. They were basically caps, and it really didn't start getting really good until the 70s when it comes to the
Leather caps.
player safety.
Leatherhead.
1945, and Don, you'll like this today in history. 1945, during World War II, the Imperial Japanese Navy battleship Yamamoto, one of the two largest ever constructed, is sunk by the United States Navy aircraft during Operation Tengo. In October of 1974, Renji Matsumoto created a television series called Battleship Yamamoto, about rebuilding the battleship as a starship in its interstellar quest to save Earth. The series was a huge success, spawning 8 feature films and 4 TV series, the most recent of which was released in 2017. The series popularized the space opera genre as post-war Japanese tried to redefine the purpose of their lives. Yamamoto became a symbol of heroism and their desire to regain a sense of masculinity after their country's defeat in the war. Brought to the United States, Don, as
Star Blazers.
yes,
I used to watch that all the time. I used to go to my friend Kenny Mann's house in Wollaston, and we used to watch it. I used to get there at 7:30, and then he lived right across the street from the school, so we watched it. And then we'd run to school, and we'd just make it, because we had to watch Star Blazers. I didn't want to miss it, because, there's no DVRs back then, We always missed, we didn't know what the next episode would be, because we didn't want to be totally late. But a couple times we did walk in at like 5 minutes late, and it was like, and the teacher's like, "Why are you always showing up at like 30 seconds up?" And we told him well. And the teacher understood. But you were right about how that series shaped.
I believe that.
How that series shaped my upbringing, because that series showed hope from darkness. And the Yamato was called the Argo, okay, and they had characters like Captain Avatar, Wildstar. Captain Avatar was the captain. He was the coolest guy, the coolest captain on the planet. You had Orion, who was the engineer, a little rip-off of Scotty maybe, but you had Deathlock, he was the villain, you had all these crazy guys, Nova, Queen Starsha, you had all these characters that you just fell in love with, and they were just trying to save the world, and it was just great. It just made you feel good, and it was a positive message going into school, because you're watching these people trying to save the world.
Yeah.
So you got to go in and do your part.
To save the world.
I'm embarrassed to say that. I've never even heard of the show.
Really?
No, I just had to Google it.
I was doing the same.
I've never, and you and I usually are on like, you name the show and we're both like,
You are that.
Holy
It was on
lines.
Channel 56 at 7:30 in the morning, right after Tom and Jerry. So
See, I was watching the New Zoo review then.
that wasn't on at 7:30.
I don't know when it was on, but it was Doug and Eddie Joe.
Yeah, but it wasn't on at 7:30.
But yeah, that's true.
You gotta go back and look at the Channel 56 lineup.
You know what, I'm really going to, because I was a big Channel 56 guy.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the show. This is horrible.
And it's
Not
funny
remember
too.
that show.
Before it come on, it had the Channel 56 thing there. You know, the still. You know, and they play music. And there was one song they always played was "City of New Orleans" by Al Guthrie.
Yes.
All the time. And the reason I know that song so well is that she used to sit there and listen to the few songs before the Tom and Jerry went on.
Now, Tom and Jerry, I love. Does this sound like, does this hit the key to you? A courageous crew is tasked with fighting a tyrannical, I love that word, tyrannical intergalactic enemy to save the human race.
What are you talking about?
Star Blazers.
Yeah,
Is that- yeah.
It could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Deathlock. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah. 2003, April 7th. During the Iraq War, U.S. troops capture Baghdad. Saddam Hussein's Ba'athist regime falls 2 days later. 2 years ago today, April 7th, Ketanji Brown Jackson has confirmed the Supreme Court, a Supreme Court Justice of the United States, becoming the first black female justice. Birthdays on this day. 1939, Francis Ford Coppola, American director, producer, and screenwriter. Nicolas Cage happens to be part of that family. Yes. Don, we were just listening to Hall & Oates this morning. John Oates' birthday is today, 1948.
My favorite song
you
is the song we played is Witch Girl.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great
1977,
song.
I think.
They're in a battle right now.
I
The two
heard.
of them. It's so
Yeah,
sad.
I know.
It's so sad.
1954.
Probably a little money.
August. 1954 on this day, Jackie Chan was born. Hong Kong martial artist, stuntman, director, producer, and screenwriter. 1964, Russell Crowe, born on this day, New Zealand Australian actor. And before we get to our passings today, we have another call. Let's take that call right now and say good morning. You're on Middleboro in Review.
Good morning, Joey. It's Chachi. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Good morning, Chachi. How are you doing this morning?
Morning, Chachi. How you doing?
Hey, Joey, gentlemen, good morning. Both good to talk to you on this beautiful Sunday morning, getting ready to drive into Boston, but I wanted to call and congratulate you, Joey, for 5 years with your radio show, and you should be very proud. And so I wanted to call and say congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Chachi. We do appreciate having you on. That's a highlight anyway. We have two great guests in the studio here, and we're having a lot of laughs, and we're talking about a lot of things growing up and stuff. So we're really having it's a good show so far, and appreciate you calling.
Well, listen, whenever I'm on with you guys, we have laughs. So you guys are pretty contagious in that category, and so it's always fun to come in and hang out. And we got a lot of shows this summer at Lorenzo's. I hope to see you guys there, and you supported it last year, and I was grateful for that. And it's always fun to be on the radio with you, Joe. You're a great broadcaster, and it's always a lot of fun. So we're at Lorenzo's in June, July, August, and September, and heading into Boston now because a week from today we have another big city winery luncheon, Beatles luncheon. So we're busy, you're busy, and that's all good. And congratulations again.
And you got your shows coming up to today, right? Tell us about your shows today on Sunday. Breakfast with the Beatles, Chachi.
That's right. Because of our show next Sunday at City Winery, I pre-recorded the show today, so but I am on the air from 10 a.m. to noon, Breakfast with the Beatles, and you can find it on Seacoast Oldies in Maine, 104.3 FM. But as you know, Joey, the beauty of radio nowadays, you don't have to be in your car. You can stream it. You can go on Alexa. So we have listeners all over the world, as I'm sure you do. And so that's what's great about radio nowadays. Anyone, anywhere can access your show and my show. So it's 10 o'clock this morning at seacoastoldies.com, Breakfast with the Beatles.
Thank you so much for calling in today, Chachi.
Thank you, Chachi. We'll be talking soon, okay?
Okay, you guys, be well. Congratulations. Enjoy your day, Joey. You're a great broadcaster. And it's a pleasure to meet you and Don. You guys are great.
Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Okay, have a good day.
Yeah.
Bye. You too.
Chachi LaPrette,
Yeah.
one of the originals from WBCN.
WBCN.
He really is, and it's funny.
That's great.
Yeah, those are stories he tells us about how BCN was like the template as far as other stations wanted to know what they're playing. So whatever they were playing.
Absolutely.
And he told me a story too. In like 1986, he started playing when Tony Bennett came back. He started playing a lot of Tony Bennett, and then a lot of the radio stations nationwide always listened to BCN because they were the go-to station because they were and then that's how Tony Bennett got a second resurgence. And he said he played a lot, and that was a great story he said about Tony Bennett. So it's just,
All right, our passings for today, April 7th, 1891. P.T. Barnum, American businessman and politician, co-founded the Barnum and Bailey Circus. And 1947, Henry Ford passed away, American engineer and businessman. He founded the Ford Motor Company. And there's a CEO of Ford right now that happens to be related to Chris Farley.
yeah, the comedian Chris Farley.
Yes. So Ford, interesting company, and a lot of interesting people are part of that company there. Ford Motors. All right, 7:31 a.m. We're going to take our first commercial break right now. When we come back, we'll have more with Pastor Ortiz Vandross and Chuck Hart and Don and me. If you want to call in, 508-822-1106 is the number. Open phone lines today as well. And this is Middleboro in Review, the 5th year anniversary program of Middleboro in Review.
Yeah.
We will be right.
Awesome. 5 years has gone by so fast, man.
Those pictures I showed you.
Yeah, your dad showed me a picture. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, 7 in July. Huh?
That was like one of his proudest moments grabbing that for you. You know, you can tell by his face. You know?
It's great. So is Tony Lope still in the area, or he's still down in Florida?
I talked to him yesterday. Hopefully he'll call him. He said he's going to try to call today.
So he's back and forth still?
He came out for Easter.
Okay.
But he'll be back.
Okay.
He's May 5th, I think. May 3rd, he said he talked to. So most likely he's going to be on the air or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You should reach out to him and get on the show and talk. You know.
They got Carol.
I know it's tough getting up, but I mean, talk about conversation.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of
Might
people
have her on again at some point pretty soon because
we got another guy.
of the stupid host stuff.
Ed Miller. He has a song. He has
That's
a
gonna be
ball clock show called Stand Up Strong. I think they'd love to have you on. Okay. It's all about Brockman. And Reverend Tony Branch. Bishop Tony Branch. You ever Tony?
I've met him a couple times.
Yeah. Bishop Tony Branch. I don't know. Is he a bishop?
I think so.
Is he?
Yeah.
That's what he said he is.
Yeah.
I'm still stuck on the Star Ship.
You ever watch the Star Blazers on YouTube for the?
Don, you and I, everything you talk, if I'm listening at home, remember Michelle? I'm laughing. And it's,
You're not physically.
I don't know. I've never heard of the show. It's mind-boggling because that was that we were this. You and I are relatively the same age. So 1979, 3 seasons.
There's 3 seasons. Yeah.
How old are you?
Robert, 52.
52?
Yeah, so I'm looking at it in 1979. I was 8, so I don't remember hearing it.
I mean, that would have been in that age grade. That would have been. It would have been attractive to an 8-year-old. I mean, just
Yeah, it was.
from looking at it.
Yeah.
And 56 was. I mean, we had so few choices back then.
No, that was.
And when you think about it, the world is unrecognizable.
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, it's.
I'm pretty sure it was 56. Wasn't 38. I'm pretty sure it was Channel 56. Maybe it wasn't.
I'll be able to find out. I'll be able to. Like, I'm gonna.
No, it had to be because cartoons only came on far and few channels.
Yeah, in the morning.
Yeah, in the morning, 56.
And of course, we had Saturdays.
25 wasn't.
I don't think 25 was in existence yet.
Yeah, well, not quite. There was another channel called 68. Remember that?
Yes, I do. I do.
It's 66.
Yeah.
It was a 66 too, but they weren't. Yeah,
All I know is I was jealous because I grew up in Swampscott. My cousin was in Somerville. My cousin had cable. We always were. And Somerville had cable like years and years and years. We didn't get it until like maybe. I remember the first movie I watched on cable. I don't know if my dad got us HBO, but it was The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Dr. J. Jewell was here. That was the first movie that I would watch. So whenever that came out, that's when we got cable. And I think that might have been right 79 or 80.
Like concrete, brick, asphalt, yard removal.
Did you grow up in Brockton? Or?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep, I grew up in
Also
Brockton.
basements, attics,
I did.
houses,
I did
and
40 hours of student teaching, observation and teaching in Brockton in the late 80s. I went to Bridgewater State University.
Okay.
Bridgewater State College.
in
So.
Deacon School for Moving Services.
Now you said you teach at
It's the
Chamberlain.
Chamberlain International School.
Okay. Yeah, they used to be one of our clients. I was in risk management for several years, and so we were overseeing the school's accidents, prevention problems. So
It's funny. I have a.
That must have been interesting.
I took a couple loss prevention courses when I worked at the Marriott. I used to be security at the Marriott, and there was a lot. They had a lot of load meetings with the security on loss prevention because there was a lot of people doing the old slip and fall.
Oh, yeah.
That was prevalent. And the whole spilled coffee on you thing. That was the whole.
Caution, hot. Oh, I think it may be hot.
It's one thing I know a lot. I mean, I don't know a lot. I mean,
No.
I'm not professional here about loss prevention, but
a lot of
risk analysis.
Yeah, a lot of it's common sense. Like you said, risk analysis.
The problem is common sense isn't so common.
Being in business has a lot to do with that. Do demos, you know.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and 0. And we're back as I turn the bumper music down. Bumper. Here we go. Let's switch gears a little bit before we get back to some questions I want to ask Chuck Hart about this past Easter and how that went. But before we do that, Pastor Ortiz Vandross.
Yes,
The
sir.
weekend is extremely important in the NCAA tournament.
Oh man.
Oh man, I didn't say that.
The last month has been exciting. I mean, if you're a college basketball fan, this is the time. This is like the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited. But I'm also sad that it's going to end come Monday night.
Yep. We have two number one matchups. We have Purdue and UConn, number one on both sides. Pretty good matchup here. I will give the upper hand to UConn due to them winning last year, and some of the results for Purdue I didn't really like. I didn't really like some of the results that they had. They had some really tough games that probably shouldn't have been tough for Purdue.
Yeah.
UConn has stormed through this entire tournament. UConn has done very well. So I will give the upper hand to UConn in this one. What about you?
They are favored to win. In actuality, last week I went to the tournament. It was at TD Bank North Garden, and I went Thursday night and Saturday. And I saw Connecticut. They have another gear that most elite teams don't have. They're big, quick, but they really sit down and guard. And that's, if you're going to win a championship, you got to guard, you got to rebound. We know make shots, but defense wins games. And so, yeah, UConn should be the favorite. But I will tell you this, do not sleep on Purdue. Yes, they had some couple of bad breaks, but the team is very good.
And on the other side, Caitlin Clark is the only player that can probably beat South Carolina. And it happened. We are in.
That is correct.
We're in South Carolina and Iowa for the final. South Carolina needs to be worried. They need to be worried. Yes, they were defeated. Yes, they destroyed a lot of teams, except for one of them. Mm-hmm. That was a little bit concerning that they couldn't put away one team. Yeah, this is going to be a tough one for South Carolina. Iowa is not going to lay down. It's going to be a tough one, but I'm going to pick South Carolina here. I think they'll win. I think it'll go to overtime, and I think.
Well, I'm going to say this. Caitlin Clark is an outstanding talent, young lady who has revolutionized the game of women's basketball, and I believe she will do that at the WNBA level. UConn the other night did something that no other team has done. They had put a much bigger person on her, quicker, taller, that altered a lot of her shots. So she struggled early on in the game, but found her rhythm. South Carolina is a similar team, and you probably would look for South Carolina to wear her down. But if she gets going early in her rhythm, it's going to be a long afternoon today for South Carolina.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so that is your college basketball.
Can I just make one quick comment? I was listening to Bob Costas on CNN.
Yes.
And he was talking about Caitlin Clark, and I forget there's 2 or 3 other women he was talking about too that I apologize. I can't recall their names immediately, but he compared them to Magic Johnson and Larry Bird.
Yes.
He said that this is so wonderful, and he feels that what. And I wish I could. You know the other 2 athletes that he's speaking of, because I can't.
That's playing currently in college?
Currently, right now in college basketball.
Angel Reese?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
They're Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, and he said that they're going to probably do to the say it for me, the NWBA. Am I saying that right? The
WNBA.
They're going to do that also. They're going to take that level of play because Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, as we know, revolutionized.
Absolutely.
You know, after the WNBA draft, after the Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark, they're going to be very, very scary. I think it might be time to start picking Indiana Fever to go far in the playoffs or even make the playoffs at this point. They were rebuilding. Again, they were the worst team last year, but I don't expect them to be the worst team this upcoming year. They have really great players now on that team. They're very scary.
I think Indiana Fever will improve, but the whole entire landscape of the WNBA, there's some phenomenal young ladies that can play. And so I don't think the Fever is just going to just walk in and just claim prominence right away. Your New York Liberty, your Connecticut Sun, those are the really powerhouses that have, those ladies are much older. And believe it or not, to play that game, you need experience and a level of maturity. And that's what Clark is going to lack for the first couple of years. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
But that upper echelon, that's what they have.
All right, so that is your sports segment today. Again, going to be a fun today and tomorrow for the college basketball championships. It's going to be a fun night tonight for all wrestling fans. It's night 2 of WrestleMania. Night 1 was crazy, very crazy.
You watched on?
Little. I mean, when it comes to sports, he doesn't have to turn my mic down because I don't know too much about it. So that's the way.
Has he ever turned the mic off?
We were heated one day. It was great radio.
A great intercontinental championship reign came to an end last night. You know, the champion, the intercontinental champion, lost his title to the challenger. Sami Zayn is now champion, which is great. It's always good to have some change with that. You know, the former champion had the title for 2 years plus. You know, hopefully we get that same result tonight when Roman Reigns loses the title to Cody Rhodes, because Roman has held that title for 4 years now, and I think a lot of people are tired of that.
Isn't the Rock fight?
The Rock fought last night.
Did he lose?
He did not lose. No, he won. He actually picked up the pin.
No.
He pinned Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
So tonight will be the main event: Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. No rules in the main event tonight.
No rules?
No rules. they're calling it bloodline rules. They're calling it bloodline rules, and basically what that means is no rules. There's no rules in the match. Anyone can interfere. You can have 50, 60 people in the match. It doesn't matter.
The wheels are spinning on Don. I really want to say something.
I'm just listening. I'm in awe.
Do you want to go back to Star Blazers?
No, I'm just like, because he was like, I don't want to go anywhere. I want to get home. I want to watch wrestling. Don't mess me up.
This was a very important weekend for our wrestling fans, for sure. Anyway,
no adventures today.
Moving on from that, Chuck and Pastor Vandross,
Yes.
with the food pantries. This past week was a very important week. It was Easter weekend. How'd that go? How did that go?
Yeah, it was according to David Cunningham, who runs the food pantry, it was the largest number of prepared meals for people in the history of the pantry. So that need of that food insecurity is just there. It's huge. So yeah, we had. I don't have I wish I had the numbers in front of me. I usually get an email by now, but I wish I had the numbers in front of me. But I know there were hundreds of meals.
Well, you got that number, right?
I memorized it coming in. It's 508-947-1717. So there you go, Mr. Starblazer. 508-947-1717. I didn't have to look at my phone.
That number again, Chuck.
508-947-1717. 508-947.
Don't sing nothing. We got the lawyers listening.
Listen, Dewey Cheatham House, stay away. Dewey Cheatham House, stay away. Yeah. Look, Joey, this is why nobody turns the dial, because of the shenanigans.
And how about for you, Pastor?
Our food pantry operates the second and the fourth Saturdays of each month. So we were not open the weekend of Easter.
Okay.
But prior to that, again, our numbers were doubled. Where our building is centrally located on Main Street, they just wrapped around the building, and we just stayed open until we served the last client. All right, and so until almost some of the food is gone.
All right, it is 7:47 a.m. I'm going to take our last commercial break right now. When we come back, we'll have much more with Don, with Pastor Vandross, and with Chuck Hart as well. And with you. You can call in 508-822-1106, open phone lines today. Yeah. All right, it is Middleboro Room Review. It is the 50th anniversary show of Middleboro Room Review, and we'll be right back here on WVVF 1530 AM, 99.7 FM.
Your mind is sharp.
When we come back, I wanna ask you about. Are you still chapel for the fire department?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Talk about. I mean, that's important to talk about.
Yeah, because there seems to be a lot of upticks in fires now lately.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
Have you been on?
Is that true?
Have you been on scene? Fire scene still?
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Most of the seats
What they do is they
I
have
gotta do that, so.
we're on a call tree list, and so they call us.
Yep.
We only receive calls when there is a third alarm fire, and so that's when we are called, and then we go.
Really?
Yeah. And so it's three of us. Sometimes some of us are dispersed with, hey, you're going to the hospital, you're on scene, another person might be taking care of things.
So there's three in the whole department.
Three chaplains, yeah. And so there's 8 houses, 5 stations of houses in the city of Orange.
5 stations, houses,
Excuse me, 8 stations
8 stations,
8 stations,
houses. Right.
yeah.
Okay.
in the city. Thank you. And so it's pretty big.
Yeah. Yeah. I think with North Side, Martello, Pleasant Street, open at the high school, 3.
Yeah, South Main.
Huh?
South Main.
Yeah, South Main,
5%,
Harry Hill.
voter turnout.
That's horrible. Rehoboth had theirs on, not yesterday. They had like a 12%.
Crescent Street.
302. Okay.
Yeah, there's one over near Home Depot, near that way.
Yes.
That's Crescent Street.
Yes,
Yeah.
Crescent
Good morning, caller. You're on Middleboro in review. We're just on a commercial break right now. We'll be back in just about 2 minutes or so.
Okay. You want me to call back, or you want me to just stay on line?
Stay on the line, please.
So you said there was 8 or 7?
Double check. Maybe 7.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else.
Seven.
7.
So Pleasant Street,
Yep.
2 on Pleasant,
Yep.
Main, North Main, Crescent, West Street, North Cary.
I don't see anything. I went on the website.
I don't see anything either, no.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stations.
Yeah, a lot of stations. A lot of funding has gone into the fire department to improve the quality of their lives.
Sure.
Going into buildings.
Yep.
The equipment has changed.
Yep.
It's ever changing.
Right.
Safety is training has been heightened, and also even us as chaplains, we have training that we have to attend to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because each situation is different.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1, and 0. And we're back. Turn the music down. There we go. And we say, good morning, caller. You're on Middleboro in review.
Good morning, Joey. This is Bill in Florida. I know it's a tough time to call. You're getting off the air, and I know you have a lot of guests scheduled, but the landmark day, I just wanted to congratulate you and Donnie on 5 years.
Thank you so much, Bill.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. That means a lot. I know you're a faithful listener,
Yep.
and each time I hear what a great show, you keep up doing the show, that makes us feel great. And coming from somebody like you, who is Coast Guard, who has straightened away and knows, former school teacher, and we're in it, we got a school teacher and pastor, and we have we're in good company here. So thank you for calling. Appreciate that.
Amen. I remember sitting on the back porch in Pennsylvania during COVID, buried in snow, and listening to you guys. It's great. But I'll let you go. I just wanted to say Russell Wilson to the Steelers. I love you guys.
Thanks, Billy.
Yeah, that did happen.
He's the Steeler now?
Did happen.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
I like Russell
that's
Wilson.
what happened.
I think Russell Wilson's a class act. I always said that. And I like him.
All right, our election results for yesterday. So we have that to talk about real quick. For Middleboro, Teresa Farley and William Pike earned seats on the select board following results from the Middleboro town election yesterday, April 6th. And also, newcomer Susan Panini and incumbent Ezekiel Lewis were voted on to the school committee. So Ezekiel Lewis retains his seat as incumbent, and Susan Panini is the newcomer on the school committee. Farley defeated the challenger Jane Slavin, receiving 692 votes to Slavin's total of 237 to secure a 3-year seat on the select board. Pike, who was running unopposed for 1 year, for the remaining seat left by Arthur Battistini's departure, earned the most votes of any candidate during the election, with 795 voters backing him. On the school committee side, newcomer Panini was the big winner, 785 votes. And the second highest tally of the day, Ezekiel Lewis, the current committee vice chair, retained his seat with 438 votes. And they defeated Rebecca Hopkins, who received 333 votes. Some other things as well to talk about. The day's only other contested race was for gas and electric commissioner. That was won by John Healy and William Taylor, who received 580 votes and 543 votes there as well. And they defeated Adam Carboni, who fell short with 497 votes. Turnout was unfortunately light, 990 people of the town's 20,010 registered voters casting ballots. That translated to about a 5%.
Yeah, not much. It's unbelievable that such a small part of the population is dictating policy in Middleboro. I mean, I was number 47, Joe was 45 when we voted in our precinct yesterday.
Yep.
It was about 11 o'clock, about 10:30, quarter 11 we got there. So it's, people gotta get out and vote. I mean, they can't really complain about what's going on if you don't go out and voice your opinion. So.
And I'm aware that Dighton, I believe, also had an election yesterday.
They absolutely did.
Yeah.
And I don't have any results for that one. If someone does, give us a call, 508-822-1106.
Joe, I can say as a Dayton resident that very few people voted, and maybe higher percentage-wise than Middleboro, but still not where it needs to be. And most of the seats were uncontested. The school committee was uncontested. The selectmen's race was not contested. There was no contest.
I think when you get word that a lot of our own contestants, people just don't bother to show up.
Yeah.
But you need to emphasize the ones that are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But are you done? I'm sorry, because I want.
Go ahead.
No, because we got 4 minutes left. I want to talk to the Reverend about his chapel duties in the city of Brockton. Last time he was on, we talked about that, and I was moved by what you do as far as. Tell us a little bit about that.
So yes, I was appointed by the chief of the fire department just to serve as one of the chaplains in the city of Brockton. So there's a total of 3 of us, and our services, you would not believe it, is huge and monumental. We are called to every scene. You asked me during the break, do I have a scanner? No, we don't. So we are called on a call tree list, and we're only called when there's a 3-alarm fire. And so whoever's available can go, and there are times where all 3 of us do show. And so no fire is quite the same. One, you could be rescuing an animal. There could be a family member still in the house. One is sent to the hospital. One is to take care of the family. One is also in prayer for other needs. So it's an action-packed scene. TV does not do a real fire justice. So the services that we provide go transcend beyond the fire. We dedicate babies. We marry some of the firefighters and dedicate their homes. We also even just provide some type of supportive counseling. It's a very dangerous job, and so it's huge.
We have a phone call.
Oh, nice.
So I want to say good morning again, and you're on Middleboro Review caller.
Hey, Joey, this is Paul Laz, and I wanted to wish you a happy anniversary.
Paul Laz.
Good morning, Paul.
How you doing, sir?
Yes. Good. Joey is one of the nicest guys I've ever met on radio, and always there to help. And just a great plus for the station. So, Joe, I wish you many more years of success with Middleboro Review, and up and going.
And it's funny how you listen every week too. I mean, you're pretty faithful as far as we always see you on that Facebook. So we appreciate that, Paul. And
I've got to get my key updated, and I like the ranch and the blood
Yeah.
drives and Joe keeps us surprised of what's going on in Middleboro and beyond.
I owe you some rants. I haven't been ranting a little bit, but we're gonna hopefully have a transportation show. And I love ranting on the T. I love that. The T. Oh my God. Oh boy.
The big question is, will Joey be taken out for breakfast this morning? Where are you heading out for?
I guess I do own breakfast. I don't know. I gotta feed him later. I don't know if he wants breakfast or lunch or.
I guess we'll have to discuss that.
Yeah, I gotta have to wine and dine him. I almost got away with it, but you reminded me. I can't run off on the check.
All right, Joe.
Yeah.
Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you so much. Have a great night. Great
Great
morning. Bye-bye.
Hey, Joey, can I say something real quick, and we can all sign off?
Absolutely.
That's where we can. I want to thank Tony Lopes,
Yep.
Steve Callahan. I want to thank Mark Pacheco. I want to thank Chris Beach. I want to thank Jim Larkin.
Yes.
Paul Laz. I want to thank Ed Miller.
Yep.
Tony Branch. Everybody.
Everyone.
Yeah, everybody who was in. I'm missing any names. I want to thank that. So I want to thank Chip Dupont. I want to thank pretty much, especially Tony Lopes. He hired you, and him and Steve, thought that you could handle the show, and that's huge. And I'll always be grateful to those people, and I'll be grateful to everybody.
And
who's kept you
I
going.
will as well.
You know?
And I will as well. It is 8 o'clock. I want to thank everyone for listening to today's show once again. I have no idea what episode number this is. I lost count. Got to be like close to 300 or something.
I think there's only 3 that we didn't get off because we were moving, or there was a power outage or whatnot. But we've got through the snowstorms. So,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. And Joe, Don, congratulations, 5 years. And it's been great to know you guys over the last 7 years. And looking forward to many more opportunities to come.
We'd love to have you.
And Chuck, it's great to meet you.
Chuck is our resident here.
So, thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Pastor Vandross. Thank you, Don. And thank you to everyone who called in today and everyone listening at home. We'll be back next week for another edition of Middleboro in Review. Don, who do we have as a guest?
We have Board of Selectman Thomas White.
Yes,
Should
we
be calling
do,
in,
yes.
Middleboro Board of Selectman Thomas White.
Yes, we
So
do.
he's been he got elected about a year ago on April 1st, 2023. So he's been on the job for about a year now.
Yeah.
So we're gonna hear what's happening as far as the Middleboro Select Board.
So that sounds good. We're going to have him on next week, and many other great guests coming up in the following weeks after that. This has been a Middleboro Review. I'm Joey Driscoll, and we'll be back next week. Bye-bye, everybody.
That was great.
Awesome! What a great show. I wanted to get that. I wanted to get the chapel. And you perfect. You said it perfect before we got the call.
Okay.
Thank you. You kind of know you got to go quick.
Yeah.
Especially when the phone's ringing. Because then you got to pick it. So that was awesome.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah. Hopefully you come back sometime this summer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just let me know. Give me a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So that I can When my schedule.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe July or something, I don't know. Chuck?
I'll be here before you know it, July.
Yeah,
Yeah.
July.
Hey, when I'm, the Sunday I'm gone, do you want Chuck as a,
I'll be here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I love
yes.
that, Joey.
Yeah.
I
still
love that.
come in on the 4th, I'm gonna be in,
What's the definite date?
I'm not sure right now,
Just let
I
me
think it's the
know.
weekend after Mother's Day. Because my father-in-law's going up for Hometown Heroes, banner going up on the 11th in Middleboro Square. So I want to be there, so it's going to be the weekend. And Mother's Day, and a good time to fly out because he'd be paying a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't bought my tickets yet. I'm going to visit my sister for a few days.
Where is your sister?
She's down in near St. Pete, north of St. Pete, north of Clearwater, on for a holiday.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Tickets to the Trump event Saturday night ranging in price.
I got a brother and sister, but I got a lot of cousins.
Bye, everybody.
Donald Trump on
cousins,
his social media platform.
How about you?
Truth
You got a lot of
Social,
brothers
it's the
and sisters?
biggest night in
I'm the
fundraising
youngest.
of all